Welcome to Bold and Fearless. I'm a big believer in not complaining about something unless you're going to do something about it. That's why I love our next bold and fearless guest. Viola Llewellyn is an international businesswoman, African investment expert, and passionate fintech entrepreneur who saw a glaring need for alternate sources of financing for growing businesses in Africa. Her company, Ovamba, is empowering small to mid-sized Africa-based businesses by connecting them to resources to help them grow.
I'm Viola Llewellyn, co-founder and chief operations officer of Ovamba, and I'm glad to be here. When I was sitting with Marvin Cole failing forward at every other business idea that we had over the last 5 or 6 years, we all knew that we wanted to be focused on Africa. And the issue that kept on coming up amongst people that knew what they were talking about or didn't know what they were talking about is Africans have access to capital issues. Well, yes, that's true, but in what way? So Ovamba was created as a technology, a platform for lenders and borrowers to be matched, and for Ovamba to take over the process of underwriting all of these amazing African borrowers and creating these loans as an investment vehicle for the investors who want to lend money to Africans. But not everybody knows how to do that. So Ovamba has taken this concept. We've got our own credit underwriting procedures, and we have our own way of bringing these two parties together and overseeing the process of repayments and distribution of capital. I became an entrepreneur because it became very clear to me that there was a place for people from the diaspora, people like myself, that could bring this Western half of our psyche, our mentality, and our experiences to the deeply grained DNA of being an African and understanding both sides of the problems. My dad was the one that told me, there's nothing wrong with thinking you're better than other people if you can prove it. And it has added to a certain level of functional arrogance that I've been accused of that I'm never going to let go. It made me hyper competitive when my mother wanted me to just be very, very nice. And he also told me that if you're black and female, everyone's going to dislike you for something, and that means you have an advantage. It means that you'll always try 2 or 3 times as hard to succeed, which means that your benchmark for failure is someone else's highest point of success. You can't lose. And if anybody doesn't like you, they're mistaken, and most people are going to want to be you. And I know it sounds really obnoxious, but when you're a child in your formative years growing up in 1970s Britain, it's the best insulation you could possibly have to give you a foundation later. So in the last 5 years, I've overcome things by really trying to develop the real person who I was, not a version of me. I've also learned that it's important to play to your strengths, not try to manage and improve your weaknesses. It's a total waste of your time. So getting to know who you really are and those talents that have stayed with you since childhood that continue to show up again and again and again are probably your magic pot of ingredients for success, regardless of what it is that you're trying to do. So my challenge has been to not worry about what society is expecting of me, but to figure out what do I expect of myself and what tools am I going to bring to the table to make Ovamba a world-class success.
Viola Llewellyn is one woman who's ready to help Africa rise. Thank you for joining us for this bold and fearless profile. We hope you've been inspired, informed, and motivated to live your own life boldly and fearlessly. God bless.